So that's 23 minutes before I have to delete this. Okay, so I'm gonna go through all the situations that I've had with the police in New Jersey since my ex-girlfriend who stole my house um, called them on me back last June. So it started last June. I was up for a few days. I was in my backyard in the house that me and my ex-girlfriend bought 5 years previous, now 6 years, together. Put a down payment, paid half the mortgage for 5 years. Paid half anything fixed, anything done. I've done a lot of work myself on the house. So I was up for a few days, and she didn't know what to do, so she called the crisis squad that then put me in. So she showed medical for 3 days, and then Monmouth psych ward for 5 days, 8 days. Left me really shaken up when I got out. She said, "You have to leave." We had broken up. We had agreed that I wasn't gonna have to leave until I found a place to live that I could afford. Now she's throwing me out of the house that I paid for, but I wasn't put on the deed for the house because I wasn't put on the actual mortgage because my credit wasn't that good. So we brought up the rate. So she just put it on hers and said to me that she was going to put me on the deed eventually, later on. I said, okay, well, pay for half everything. And she throws me out and says, you have to get out. And I said, no, not unless we sell the house. We agreed that if anything happens between us, we would sell the house and split the equity. She said, nope, I'm keeping the house. You get out. I said, I'm not leaving until we sell the house. And she said, then I'm calling the police and having you physically removed. So that happened last June. Since then, I've been homeless, and except for me living in my business in Bradley Beach, where I was then, because I always had so much anger in me because of what happened, I got a little bit voicey in front of the place, and I played music really loud, and I got a lot of needed to get a lot of stuff out, and that attracted this woman who just moved in upstairs to call the police on me. First, we complained to the landlady, and I said, I can't stop doing what I'm doing. She's been told the landlady that I was living there, which I wasn't supposed to. And then she called the police on me several times. The first time, and whenever you're sent to a psych ward in New Jersey, they have you on a little lister. So whatever happens again to you, the police, the people from Monmouth come out and right away and do an evaluation on you. And every time they came out, every time they fucking. In fact, that happened to me 5 times throughout my stay at my business, Sapphire Holistic Center on 316 Main Street, Bradley Beach. It was, I got out. I was pissed off about the last time and the last time the police kind of forcibly took me out of there, and I didn't want to go. I kind of ducked them, and I was like, I don't want to go. They both two bigger opposers, they jumped me, pushed me down to the ground, handcuffed me, punched me, put their knee on my neck, and then maced me in the face. I've been an activist definitely since 2003, I think. Been once all my life, but I've been arrested a bunch of times, especially the Occupy Wall Street movement, a bunch of times for activism, and not one of those cops ever maced me. So I was kicked out of the place in January. I went to court, and the judge decided to approve the landlord's decision to evict me, even though I paid rent there throughout all the time that I was there. And then by January I was homeless. So I was staying in hotels more. And so what started this whole process with me having to go to court in December 13th is my next court date. Was this series of events. I was at the Corley's Motel in March. There was a person there that I kind of knew. I knew his brother more. I did them both favors by driving them around a few times. I met his brother in one of the psych wards, and we became kind of friends. And we were standing out there, and he thought I wronged him on something. And I was walked out of the hotel room towards my car, and he came up behind me, put me in a chokehold. I lost consciousness. I hit the floor. And I had a concussion over my right ear, and concussion, skull fracture, and my ribs were cracked. And I was in the hospital for 6 days. At that time, the two brothers ended up taking my car, finding my keys on the floor, picking them up. Instead of giving them to the office or putting them back in my room, which I still had a room with my stuff in, and my wallet was in there as well, they actually physically took the keys, took the car, drove around Asbury, delivering stuff all week. And then they went through all my stuff that I had and picked out several things that were of value in my car, because I was basically living out of my car at that point. And most of my stuff was in the car or in the storage unit, but I had a lot of stuff in the car because I don't want to go all the way to the storage unit up to Eatontown. So that series of events led me. Now, when police said, "Oh, you're going to press charges," I was like, I don't know. I kind of know that, maybe not. But when I found out what they did to me, I had no idea. I thought he just came up to me and pushed me or something, and I lost consciousness. I didn't know he actually put me in a chokehold. There's a video of it too as well. That's why he couldn't really get out of it. But the police still needed me to say, okay, this is the person that did it. But when I found out they stole my car, hold on a second.